Good morning, everybody. Here we are again, same place as yesterday, more or less. But that's a good place to be, because if you didn't watch yesterday, if you haven't watched these last few days or if you're just not paying attention, you just don't know what to do. My opinion, for myself, is make the most of this area, because I honestly reckon, yeah, based on the charts, not because of what I think. I think this is something I need to just put out there. I don't just wake up and think. I don't think about what's going to happen. I look at what's most likely going to happen, and then I decide what to do as a result of that. That's all I'm doing. I mean, these charts, I'm not drawing these. Well, I draw some of these lines, but for the most part, moving averages, Ichimoku cloud, strength, momentum, volume. That's all I'm looking at, really, and then I make my decision appropriately. And that doesn't mean that when all these indicators align that there's a guaranteed direction. It doesn't mean that. It's simply just a statistical balance, is all it is. And if I'm willing to play those odds, so I'm not sitting here going, I think this is going to happen because my brain decided that's what I think. No, I balance all this stuff. Right, so let's move away from Ethereum, because basically it's the same as yesterday. Bouncing, supported so far on the 21 exponential moving average. Quick look at Bitcoin, and then we're going to move into something a bit better than that. So Bitcoin sort of lost those areas on the daily. The next major support is $101,000, just a little bit above that. That's fine. All of that is fine for it to happen. And again, it's nothing different to what we said at the beginning of the week. Which is what we're going to recap on now. Here's your total market cap 2, excluding Bitcoin. So if you're thinking about altcoins, alt season, if you want to say that word, probably get cancelled these days if you say that word. I'll probably have to bleep that out, the old alt season word. But if you're going to get some kind of move on altcoins, this is where it's going to be. Now, it feels like an eternity ago that we saw a setup like this, but here we are. We have one. All right, doesn't mean it's going to work out, but we have one, which is your standard golden cross on exponential moving averages, which was retested just yesterday at the ripe old price of around 112. So we were talking 112, well, to 113 to 115. What am I talking about? 112, 1.12, 1.15 trillion dollars. Here we go on the weekly as well. We've got the 20, the 21, and the 10 all coming at those areas. It gives you a good chance of a bounce around there. Again, it's just statistics. That's all it is. Statistical likelihood of success around this area. And we've got the daily and the weekly all pointing to the same kind of areas. 112, 114, 115, all those sort of areas. This is a big golden cross, by the way, that took place ages ago. There's your golden cross on simples. Exponentials never had a death cross, I don't believe. It's always been golden crossed. And we're diverging, by the way. There's your 50, there's your 200. It's a bullish uptrend. So it looks good to me. This obviously is where I think we're going to peak. Feels a little likely, right? Does it look like it's on track with this general fractal idea? Up, down, up, finish, kaput, over. It looks like it to me. I still believe very strongly in my own analysis. And the 4 hourly, what we're doing. So the 4 hourly is sort of fannying around this area. So this is where the upper area we really wanted to hold on to, the 1.15 trillion dollars. So look, we've got supports on weekly and daily. The 4 hourly is a bit skew whiff, but we've been skew whiff before, haven't we, down here? Skew whiff, skew whiff. But there's no death cross or anything like that. But yeah, it's pulled back. There was a short signal around here on 119 where the cheeky span fell below the price action. So the 4 hourly doesn't look as bullish as the others, but it's not broken completely bearish. But we are below support. But the weekly and the daily still have it, and they're the bigger ones, because if you're going to get the big move, you'd want it on the higher term time frames. That's what you want, and that's what we've got. But again, I really want to get above 116 at this point now, and obviously we want to get above 120, 122. So the total market cap, excluding Bitcoin, looks reasonably good to me. I like it. Okay, and it's the same analysis as I have had all week. We were talking about a 6% pullback from wherever we were down to these areas. You know, we've seen the 6%, we've seen a little bit over that, and that's kind of normal as well, because you want to get people out of positions, you shake them out from their supports, and that's probably what's been going on here, to be honest with you. If you try and think about, sometimes you've got to think about crypto or just trading in general, a little bit like, it's a little bit like reminiscent of a poker game. You know, we've got bots and algorithms that are all sort of pushing price in one direction so they can liquidate and take that money, and it's just that's that's part of the game these days, really, which is why futures trading on crypto is particularly hard. But if you were interested in that, though, I've got a link for BloFin these days. So if you want to go to the description of the video, you'll find a link for BloFin, which is the new big crypto exchange. So you know me, I don't promote stuff that's crap. So yeah, it lives in the description below if you want to set that up. There's perks obviously for doing that, like cashback and for deposits and. What is it? You get some, I think you get 20% off your trading fees. That's it. For life as well. So, yeah, decent. Anyway, that's enough of that. Let's think about just Bitcoin on the 4 hourly, where we could see that bounce down to 102,600, and obviously the horizontal. So this could all happen today, tomorrow. Finally washing out those areas. And again, Ethereum could obviously come down to 2,400, 2,300, all on the 4 hourly, and still present in a very bullish way. There is a short signal on this one, by the way, so be prepared for that. But overall, and I mean it, overall, we are looking at a bullish scenario. As far as I'm concerned, at least anyway. You guys do what you want with your own money. I'm not here to tell you what to do with your own money. Jeez, my God. Heaven forbid. But yeah, the total market cap also headed down towards 3.19 trillion on the 4 hourly support there. We've got obviously the golden cross here. We've got incoming golden cross 3.09 trillion, all looking quite good and pretty sweet there. And the weekly way above major supports. So again, this has been held up by Bitcoin. You can see the difference when Bitcoin's involved with the chart. It's obviously way stronger, way more bullish. But you've got supports down here at 3 trillion. So look, we like it. I like it. We should all like what we see. This is not a bearish setup across the board for the market. It might be bearish for some altcoins. The majority, to be honest with you, because most of them are crap. But for the good ones, the strong ones, and the market as a whole, it's presenting in a very bullish way. And there's nothing you could do about that. This is a bullish chart. So is Total 2. So is Bitcoin. So is Ethereum. They're all bullish charts. So you're just going to have to deal with that, all right? There's nothing you can do to take away from the fact that they are bullish charts. All right? So it's unfortunate for those who believe otherwise. But again, a bullish chart means you need to deploy capital to the market, which means risk, which means you could lose money. And so I don't want you to follow what I say is in any way what's guaranteed to take place. But over the last couple of years, I've had the same analysis, and it has not shifted. It's stayed the same. Everybody was calling for bear market before, weren't they? Oh, it's a bear market. Bear market's coming. Bear market. Cycle's over. Cycle's over. But it's still in play. It was only last week or the week before Bitcoin made a new all-time high. Cycle's over. It's just crypto, as much as anything, is a reflection of emotion. And people say, "Oh, the 4 year cycle's over." And then it makes a new all-time high. I mean, I don't see how that's a broken cycle. This is a really good chart to me. I'm just going to highlight this. And if anyone wants to join the Patreon live stream, it's the first of the month. Get a good deal. Links in the description below for the Patreon. And we'll be doing a live stream tonight on a good computer as well for a change, because I've been away for so long. I've had to do it on my crappy laptop. But now you'll get the full 4K experience here. And what we're looking at here is Crow. Crow often moves before anything else. It's almost like a an indicator of alt season itself. And what are we seeing here? We're seeing a low, we're seeing a high, we're seeing a higher low, we're seeing a higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, and we've supported on this this diagonal trend line since the low here, September 2023. It looks to me like Crow is building a decent move. We've already pushed all the way up to 11.5 cents so far this week, and I'm just pointing out that it's one of a few altcoins out there that still present in a very optimistic way. And if you're looking for this one to do another move, back up to the previous high over here, 100% gain. And then from there, you should be looking for that to break out, a major breakout taking you towards 40s, around 38 cents. I'm not highlighting this as a trade for you or anything like that. I'm just saying it's anecdotal. Right, I see this sort of thing on certain coins, and Crow being one of them. And I believe quite strongly that this is getting ready to do a similar move to something like this. I don't know where the top will be on it. You have to gauge that as you get there. Overheated money flow index reads, bearish divergence on a variety of timeframes, all the usual. But it does look like it's getting ready to at least start pushing and breaking towards the 20-odd cent zone, and then maybe towards the 40, and then who knows from there. But it does look good to me. It's one of those charts that I am very pleased to present to you, because if you're looking, you've got to scrape the bottom of the barrel, haven't you, really, when you're trying to find evidence for an alt season, and I see one here. It's not the only coin out there. I mean, Ethereum itself is building up strength, surprisingly, but it's already rallied 100% from its low as well, which seemed impossible for many people, because they're calling for Ethereum to hit. It's going back to $800, can't you see that? It's been going down for a few days, which means it must go down forever. Anyway, I think I'll leave it there, to be honest with you. I'll start trolling the trolls. I'm going to leave it there for you to mull over and digest. And again, if you want more, I'll do the interactive live streams twice a week, and one of them will be tonight. So maybe I'll see you there, maybe I won't. Right, thank you for watching. Hope you have a nice day. Take it easy.